Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.
But it also raises concerns about young IT infrastructure. Ubisa, a very important question. Young as Oman Ghana, do we have an infrastructure able to support the provision of internet, or see there be AG businesses? But I think that's a big problem, because young as Oman, we should have a way of building young infrastructure to provide us with internet.
But it's millions of dollars, I'm sure you know that.
Everything is valuable. Cost money. It's just about, calibrating your priorities right, making sure say when you have no cathedral we could have diverted that money into doing something more productive. Well, it's just about knowing idea as on mine, and then knowing where and when to direct Sika into those things. Until if we find it as a priority, say Ghana mine investing in the provision of internet now. Me sure says we can raise the money, and we've always done that. We share all the priority projects now. You baby someone who says because Ghana needs to be a edaho. Our revenues are always inadequate. But when it comes to priority projects, we find ways to raise the money to undertake our projects. Until say you can say a priority for Ghana say be provide IT infrastructure and my internet now. I think it's something we should begin having conversations about. Because if we are relying on consortiums, these are businesses. What if one day we no longer find investing in Ghana worthwhile until we are closing shop? The NBC. It means the entirety of Ghana internet there, boy. Now, also bibi about Starlink, and also the capacity of Starlink is not enough. The entire Ukraine, Starlink na more internet. The entire Ukraine, bombi or more IT infrastructure. Starlink na more IT, you can say internet. And I think that.
But also, you might apply for license.
Or more apply.
They have.
And me bad the next question. Until ban saying that besine. Or munya license no. And the suspicion that is making the rounds, the typical Ghanaian attitude, you apply. Nyoma being called ENT yanyamai. And that is where my worry is. Because you be what?
But you mean basic argument on suspicions.
Suspicions come home.
Atism, they say. Ake.
Chairman, now me person say, when was the application done? But now you were not watching here. I wanted to prompt you to ask him. That ben put in application no if a application is understandable. But say idea we need to find out what is causing the delay. What is stalling the grant of you can say license no? Until Uncle Sabisa to Yamba. Uncle, there wouldn't be that conversation about granting satellite internet providers licenses to operate in this country. Knowing very well, sir, we need as many ISPs as we can get. Well, until if we have those who provide internet through the cables, and your Muya satellite provision now, until if the application can was me, check. I say be sent the entire basin, and he gave a very, I don't want to say dodgy,
an answer he didn't like.
Answer no not clear. Say Usha ye arrangement. The regime doesn't allow for the grant of satellite licenses in Sanimo. Because whether a satellite or a cable, at the end of the day, they are coming to provide internet. They are ISP. What is it?
NTM almost some rem.
And one NTD assistant as see ye be in term am license. No, say some Rabia. We haven't changed any law.
Ebia were an NTM.
Until there is crisis. Ghana, how can we grow as a country like? In this manner. Say until be shrunku we do not do forward planning. we must always be ahead of the game, because an internet I can say era, you must be ahead of the game until every infrastructure will be here to make sure say Ghana stays relevant in this internet age. I say now we want to get these things bogged down in Mrano is not clear on it, and that is what gives rise to the suspicions of technical languages beyond consulting license near my.
Talking about infrastructure investments, just two headlines that they are trying in common, so it may be a bit political, but in common daily guide and internet disruptions affecting economic activities. What can one say that but daily guide at the story called share page 6, but so share chronicle and Oman Penida Mahama praise or Besambabe Mampenibium or say I invested heavily in digital facilities. Chronicle story in the page 3 purchase of $37 million at the distance education ICT facilities. Waka say a 900-kilometer raw fiber network through 5 regions, 20 districts, over 120 communities from South to Upper East region. There's been some work.
Yeah, locally, yes. I mean, and I think successive governments have done well. From Yeura Kufo, and I think he's by far the best president we've had in the Fourth Republic. South Fiber optic cable, he started the process. And Atamis Betua, so Ura Mahama Beye, Nafimudie, and the current government, but I think we could quicken the pace, and now we could add a lot more. That is the domestic efforts at increasing internet penetration. No, I think near Omu Kenya is about increasing internet penetration domestically and locally. But say Niabe is a question of how do you even get the internet into your country in the first place? Unibia, and if you have all the infrastructure for penetration, na internet na kasa niwa, that means it's as good as not doing anything. And we've done a bit in respect of increasing penetration locally, but like I said, I feel the state should have an interest in acquiring such service. No man, if it is through satellite service, through cables, the state Ghana must have an interest in doing so. And
Atik Mohammed in a very penetrative mood this morning. But Kwame Atawo Madina says, tell Atik it's not everything that every nation can own by itself. Everything must come under some control. And here Kwame Atawo Madina. And Francis Brown.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet